I'm gonna walk you through the 8 do's and don'ts when it comes to conflict that can help you set yourself up and your team for a higher probability of success. Stop treating conflict as if it's an event. Start making it a process where I might say, I understand, that makes sense, I totally get it, but I haven't given them the microphone or given them the platform to really help me understand it. Stick to the reality of the situation that you can't disagree with and they can't disagree with. Conflict at work. It's not a maybe, it is a guarantee. Conflict shows up every single day, either in a proactive mode where you know you have to handle conflict, or in a reactive mode where it just shows up and you have to handle it in real time. Here's what we find. Most people either shut down, completely avoid the situation, attack, or handle it in a way that does not move to an encouraging situation or move things forward, but actually moves progress backwards. I'm Chad Carden, founder of the Carden Group, and I've helped a ton of organizations manage conflict. I've seen conflict actually derail teams, and I've also seen leaders that handled it well set their teams up for strength and higher probability of even greater success. I'm gonna walk you through the 8 do's and don'ts when it comes to conflict that can help you set yourself up and your team for a higher probability of success. Here's the reality. Most leaders don't think that conflict is a problem, but the statistics say something else. Ultimately, 85% of employees experience conflict at work. Nearly 1 in 3 say that conflict leads to personal attacks or a breakdown in communication. 33% of people, personal attacks, breakdown in communication. 60% of employees have said they have never received basic conflict management. That is a startling statistic. 6 out of 10 people have never understood a strong foundation on how to handle conflict, but it happens all the time in the workplace. And here's another interesting one. It costs US companies an estimated $359 billion with a B every single year in lost productivity due to conflict. So it's not just a people problem, it is a leadership crisis because leaders do not know how to handle it. Let's talk about these 8 do's and don'ts so you are not in that same bucket. So when it comes to conflict, let's take the guesswork out of it. Let's give you a formula of these non-negotiables that allow you to elevate your game and handle conflict in a way that leads to more positive results. Number 1, do not respond or react when emotions are high. When emotions are high, it typically adds fuel to the fire. If my emotions are high and your emotions are high and we try to handle it right there, typically it leads to even more emotions and negative results. Do take a step back, allow yourself some time, gather your thoughts, and approach it in a logical way that allows for a successful outcome that leaves you and the other person encouraged, not discouraged with the progress that you're trying to accomplish. That might mean taking time to schedule a discussion at a later date. Maybe it's later that day, maybe it's tomorrow, however much time one needs to make sure that we dissipate the emotion and that we both approach it in a logical manner that allows us to move forward in a positive way. Number 2, don't wing it. Don't just try to go at a situation, especially when it comes to conflict, thinking that you're just gonna find your way through or figure it out. Do take time to prepare. Now, there are times where you can't prepare because it shows up in the moment. But when you do have time to prepare, think about what are the things that you want to show up and what are some of the items that you want to cover when you actually have a discussion around this conflict. Think about the purpose, think about the goals, think about the issues, think about these things. Think about how they might react and how you might react to handle those emotions. You can also prepare for a reactive situation, meaning it just shows up in the moment. These 8 things will help you, but also being willing to understand if something comes up, what arrow am I gonna pull out of my quiver that's gonna allow me to help the situation, not hurt the situation. So preparation is vital. Stop winging it and start preparing to set yourself up for success. To help you be more prepared, we have created 2 free digital downloads around conflict and how to set yourself up for success at thedesignleader.com. I'll put the link below. Number 3, don't just say, I totally understand before you allow them to finish. Don't do that just to relate. It actually can have an adverse impact. Instead, take time to let them empty their bucket. Take time to let them vent a little bit and truly understand the totality of the situation before you cushion it or before you relate to them by saying, I understand or I get it. Sometimes we put that up too far in the conversation where I might say, I understand, that makes sense, I totally get it, but I haven't given them the microphone or given them the platform to really help me understand it. When you respond too early, they might be thinking you don't get it. You don't understand. Because if you did, you might have done something about this before. So take the time to really clarify. What is it that they're saying? Listen to what it is they're saying. Maybe even restate it and cushion it. Just make sure you're on the same page. Earn the right to say, I understand or I get it. That will allow a better path forward when you're looking at ideas and solutions to really solve or resolve whatever they're challenged with. Number 4, don't bring in your opinions. Stop saying things like, well, I think, or I feel. Those are your opinions. And typically when we bring in opinions, the other person or the other group of people might have different opinions and the emotions continue to elevate. Instead, stick to the facts. Stick to the reality of the situation that you can't disagree with and they can't disagree with. It will allow you to create some logical ways to move forward and create common ground. Example, if somebody's late for work, instead of me saying, I think you're always late for work, or I feel like you're always late for work, maybe I stick to the facts and say something like this. Here are the facts that cannot be disputed. Over the past 4 weeks, you have been late 3 times. That is the facts. I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm not bringing judgment or criticism. I'm just bringing facts that lets us start at a place of logic and allows us to move forward much more productively. Number 5, don't assume you know their situation. Do take time to listen and understand. Let's take the being late for work. Why? Understanding the why from their lens is key to helping you find solutions and ideas that can remedy that moving forward. Maybe they're late because they're trying to get their kids to school. Maybe they're late because they're having car troubles. Maybe they're late because they can't catch a bus. Maybe they're late because they're just going to coffee every single day. But don't assume you know their situation. Allow them to bring their perspectives and their ideas forward around the why. That allows you to create a stronger platform as you move forward. Sometimes when we assume, we will provide solutions and ideas that have no practical and tactical impact. Take the time to truly understand their situation around the why and find better ways to move forward. Number 6, don't let your emotions take over the conversation. Do regulate your emotions and stay logical. That allows things to move forward in a positive manner. Let me talk on this. A lot of people handle emotions differently. And there's really 2 things to think about when it comes to emotions. One is, how do I keep my emotions intact? Which means, how do I typically react when people maybe get mad or people shut down or people start crying or they begin to attack me? What are things that I know that is kind of a natural knee-jerk reaction for me, and how can I manage that? Another thing to think about is their emotions. If I know these people, I need to begin to predict how they might come at this situation and what can I do to make sure I'm managing through it. Do these people shut down? Do these people get mad and frustrated? Do these people begin to attack? Do they start crying? Whatever those emotions are, I have to think about it 2 ways. So don't let emotions run. Stay logical, stay even keel, and allow you to have conversations that move this in a positive direction. Number 7, don't just have the talk and sweep it under the rug like it never happened. Do follow up. This is vital. Stop treating conflict as if it's an event. Start making it a process, meaning from the conflict, hopefully there are ideas and solutions that you both align to that can help remedy the situation as you move forward. it's important that we loop back. It's important that we check in. It's important that we hold ourselves and them accountable to what we agreed upon moving forward. That again would allow these things not to show up moving forward. So ultimately, see conflict as a process that can create a long-term remedy, not just something that's in a vacuum, swept under the rug and forgotten about. Number 8, don't believe that you're naturally gifted at understanding conflict. Do take the time to continuously improve on the ways that you handle the conflict that you encounter on a daily basis. Remember, there are 2 types of conflict, proactive and reactive. Every day, we should continuously be improving on the ways that we handle conflict. It can set us up for higher probabilities of success, it can help impact our brand, and it can create better results. I know earlier I talked about some of the tools that we provide, the free digital downloads on conflict, but that leads to a larger topic. We also have the Design Leader digital course at thedesignleader.com that goes much more into detail around conflict and other tools that can help you as a leader be even more successful. I'll put the link below. So ultimately, how you handle conflict truly reveals who you are as a leader. It impacts your brand, not just when it's easy and convenient, but when it's awkward. The best leaders out there master it. The best leaders out there don't avoid conflict. Matter of fact, they're okay with it, and sometimes they even run to it. So use these 8 do's and don'ts when it comes to conflict that creates more confidence for you, more comfort for you, and more competence for you, that you'll actually run towards conflict and set yourself up for even greater success. For even more on managing workplace conflict, watch my next video on how to handle difficult people. I will walk you through how to master those tough conversations.